Understanding overthinking. Knowing the difference between thinking and overthinking. What does the over and overthinking really mean? Our minds come up with thousands of thoughts every day, some helpful, others just background noise, and some that feel like they take over. But when does thinking turn into overthinking? Thinking is simply processing information, making choices, and solving problems. Overthinking is when your thoughts start to spiral out of control, looping endlessly without ever really resolving anything. The word over suggests excess, thoughts that go beyond what's necessary or healthy. It's not about how many thoughts you have, but about how they affect you. It's more about the quality and the impact. For example, deciding what to have for lunch is normal thinking, but obsessing over whether the food is perfect for hours, that's overthinking. Thoughts versus thinking versus overthinking. Thoughts are just mental bits that pop up naturally, like, I should call my friend. Thinking is actively working with those thoughts, like deciding, I'll call them tonight. Overthinking is getting stuck in a cycle, thinking things like, what if they're busy? What if I bother them? What if they don't like me anymore? The main difference: healthy thinking leads us to act or bring clarity. Overthinking can leave us feeling stuck, anxious, and exhausted. Why do we overthink? Overthinking happens when our thoughts become too much for us to handle at once. We're afraid of the thoughts, or try to avoid them instead of facing them. We mistake mental chatter for actually solving a problem. Here's the real issue. It's not just about the thoughts themselves, but how we connect with them. When we see our thoughts as enemies, we tend to run from them, which only makes them louder. Understanding overthinking is the first step toward managing it better and learning to live more peacefully with our minds. The truth about overthinking: you should know one, thinking isn't the enemy. Your mind is an incredible tool. Some of the greatest inventors, leaders, and artists use deep thinking to make huge changes. The problem isn't thinking itself, but rather how we go about thinking. Wise words: the mind is a fantastic servant but a terrible master. 2. The real issue: distorted or unhelpful. Thinking overthinking can turn harmful when it's driven by fear, like, what if I fail? Assumption, such as, they must hate me. False beliefs, like, I'm not good enough. What to do? Learn to tell the difference between facts and thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? What's the evidence supporting this belief? 3. Beliefs versus reality. Many of our worries come from treating beliefs as if they were facts. For example, believing I'm a failure after making one mistake. The truth: failure is just an event, not who you are. The horror movie effect. After watching a scary movie, simple shadows can start to look threatening. The same thing happens when we overthink. Small problems can seem like huge disasters. Here's the truth: most of the fears we worry about never actually come true. 5. The risk of misjudging others. Dropping labels like good or bad helps avoid unnecessary conflicts. People are complex. Everyone has their strengths and flaws. Instead of rushing to judge, try to understand where they're coming from. 6. The comparison trap. Constantly comparing yourself to others only leads to unhappiness. Why? Because you're usually comparing your behind-the-scenes struggles to their emphasized real. The best approach? Compete only with who you were yesterday. 7. How to clear your mind. Express your worries instead of suppressing them. Talk about it or write it down. Test things out. Instead of dwelling on what might go wrong, take small steps forward. Drop false beliefs. If a thought causes you pain, question whether it's really true. Final thought: overthinking isn't just about thinking too much, it's about thinking unclearly. When you learn to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them, your mind begins to settle. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. Key takeaways: thoughts are natural. Overthinking is a choice. Clearer thinking brings freedom. Interested in a simple 3-step exercise to help break free from overthinking today? Just ask.